All right. I think we're about ready to get started here. Hopefully I hit the right one. We start with that one. So, this is going to be a horrible angle because I don't have another camera to use, and I wanted to showcase the computer as much as possible. So for those of you who remember the live stream from 7 years ago, I built this computer pretty much exactly here. And today we will be upgrading it with a new motherboard, CPU, and memory. So, where did my CPU go? Because that's the very expensive part that I'm missing right now. Oh, there it is. It's on the shipping box. So, we're going to go with, actually, let's switch to this other. So, we're going to go to a AMD Ryzen 9 9950X3D, which is currently the fastest consumer CPU on the market that I know of anyways. Some G-Skill Trident Z5 Royal Neo, because I do like my G-Skill memory. I just find it's the most stable. This playing is not ideally set up in the right position. So we're going to go back this time to an Aorus motherboard because I just had a lot of stability issues and issues in general with the ROG stuff, starting with my J750JX laptop. For those who know me in real life, that was my laptop through college and first year of university. It was a great laptop at first until I smashed the screen on it. After that, it came back from repairs, and it was just never the same laptop, but even over the course of its life, it would just start falling apart on me. So going back to Gigabyte, which my first computer was a Gigabyte motherboard, and then the computer that's behind the setup here for tonight's stream, the second computer I built is also a Gigabyte board in there, and those ones are 15 and 12 years old respectively and still running. So mainly in the server capacity, although this one does also run. The one behind the setup here also runs the driving simulator, which is behind the computer right now. Anyways, first things first, before we get to any of this stuff, we need to take apart the existing setup. Y'all know me, I like working on live computer components. Just kidding. So we're plugging in, just like before, to a power source just for ground. So now that we are sufficiently grounded to earth, I'm going to go ahead and remove the Wi-Fi antenna here. So just a recap for anyone who didn't watch the original stream 7 years ago. This is Cal920c-TBay. This is a 6-core 12-thread i7 8700K. Originally, it was built with 16 gigs of DDR4 3200. I believe this is CL16 in here. Just pop one of these sticks out for you guys to take a look. Let's see if we get one out here. Yep. 3200 CL16. This is one of the later 32 gig kits. This is full RGB memory, so this entire top thing lights up. It's always a good time when I have this thing open. Motherboard did feature those easy dim slots, so you only had to click on one side. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and remove the graphics card. So we're going to go ahead and use, this is actually, I never opened this. This was a gift from me from from one of my friends who owns a audiovisual store. You guys have heard me talk about AV Shop before, but this is a gift for me from him because he knows I'm a huge Sennheiser fan. In fact, the headset I'm using is the Sennheiser EPOS GSP 670. This is a wear screwdriver set that's custom branded to say Sennheiser. So, it has a Sennheiser logo on it, but it's otherwise just a wear screwdriver. I don't actually know anything about this thing or how it even works. This is press. I don't know if I should be pressing this over the computer. Oh, there we go. I got my choice of bits here. What this extends to. Oh, yep. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. I get back in now. I really did not read the instructions on this. I've never used a wear screwdriver in my life before. I do have my Mastercraft electronics kit over yonder if we need to go to that, but we're gonna roll with this. So typically most computer core ones are Phillips number 2. Of course, I drop it right into the computer. Now it's underneath the motherboard. It's like really under the motherboard. Good time. Okay. Magnetic screwdriver is always a good time too. Power supply is off. We're gonna go ahead and pull the power cable out for the GPU. We will be reinstalling. Ooh, that is a really strong magnet. This is ratcheting? No, it's not. We're removing the EVGA, RIP, EVGA GTX 2060. This is the XC Gaming 2.0 card. 16 is just not enough, and yes, I did butterfinger that. Sup, vodka? Neither is, I think this is a 6 gig graphics card, if I recall correctly, which is definitely not enough for these days. This is a, 06G, so this is a 6 gig RTX 2060 from EVGA. I miss EVGA. Like the attention to detail on these things is just insane. So inside here, the actual fan blades have the EVGA logo on them. On the back here, they still have support for legacy DVI connectors, along with the I don't recall if this is HDMI 2.0 or if it's just HDMI 1.4. We got 2 display ports there, which I used these 3 on my main desk setup, although I could use the DVI as well. This could use a cleaning. That sounds like another day's exercise. We're going to put that on the racing cockpit there. Double your 3 gigs. You're still running a... I also built Logic's computer. I think you're running 1060 if I recall, which is an awesome card. 2060 is the next gen version of what you have. More telling the audience than you. I know you know this already because, well, we talked about it. So we're gonna disconnect the fans there. Looks like this. I installed this fan, this Bitphoenix Spectre Pro, to cool the VRMs on that motherboard, just because it is a bit of a ooh. What happened there? This fan screw is like rusty. I don't know if y'all can see that. We're gonna switch cameras here. I'm gonna bring the other camera in so you guys can see that. Looks like something leaked on this. You guys can see this is very rusty up here for some reason. Not sure exactly what happened to that, but that's not great. Wonder if I can still unscrew that, but we will be replacing that fan screw. and maybe hitting this with some CLR. Actually, the fan screw is not too bad. It's just kind of gross, but this is a great screwdriver. I am really enjoying this. Shale, if you're watching, shout out for getting this to me. I think you gave it to me, I want to say 4 years ago now, and I just never used it. This is a 3D printed mount, by the way. I don't want to switch cameras again, but oh, I can't get the screw out. Come on. This is a 3D printed mount for a 120 millimeter fan. It's actually intended for you to put it on a desk and use it as a desk fan, but when I 3D printed it, I added some mounting holes here to line up with the case. Well, line up as best I could anyways. Oh, this is really gross. There's like a dead bug here. Of a dead bug. We're just gonna put that on the floor. I will vacuum another day. I don't want to drop rust into my computer. I am going to go and wash my hands with this. That is really gross. All right, now that that's out of the way, I actually, while I'm over here, I'm going to go find the box, hopefully for the 115i Pro. Which is the CPU cooler for the uninitiated. Because I need the AMD mounting hardware for it. Oh, it is really tight in this cabinet. I have the boxes really nicely stacked in here. I wish I could show you guys, but I'm too busy trying to pull this out right now. Oh, might as well pull out the old motherboard box and everything's collapsing. I will have to fix that disaster later. So, this is the motherboard that's in it now, and what we will be taking out and replacing. Yes, I do keep the boxes. Most of them anyways. The ones that I actually feel the need to keep. Which way does this box open? Nope. Woo! Everything's falling. These boxes have not been opened in 7 years. So there's the CPU box for my 8700K. Wrong way. And there is the AMD mounting hardware that I am looking for. I also will need the instructions so I don't destroy my motherboard here. As much as I do like the Corsair Hydro Series CPU coolers, both of the... Actually, no, Colossal 3DR was not the second computer I built. That was a lie. Colossal 3DR was actually the fourth computer I built. I forgot about the two second generation PCs. The one I built for my uncle and the one I built for my friends EX Shadows, which both featured Hydro Series H70 coolers back in 2011. Those ladies that follow me on Instagram will know that I actually have my uncle's little computer, and I'm planning to use it as a server at some point. How do I switch to an AMD mounting kit? AMD Intel standoff screw. Wait, why is this all for Intel? Oh, AMD is back here. Highlighted parts for AMD hardware installation. So I'm going to need the 16, the fan screws are already thing. Need AMD screw clips. The 4 thumb screws that are currently on thing. Oh, good. So I can just leave the old backplate on there. I just need to undo it. Okay. Well, the old backplate will presumably stay on the old motherboard. Install the AMD mounting bracket. We need to remove the Intel one and put on the AMD one. First, we need to remove it from the computer. So, what else do we need to remove today? We can go ahead and remove the 24-pin ATX power connector. We can go ahead and remove the 8-pin EPS power connector. Now the motherboard is now officially disconnected. We will undo the USB cable from there. And I am going to need some rubbing alcohol to clean the CPU with. I will be right back. I'm back. I had to go get some isopropanol. Cause I am now about to remove the CPU cooler. So up until this point, I could just plug everything back in. This computer would just work. Don't freak out yet. I'm still around. After this point, though, it's going to be a little bit harder to put it back together. we're going to go ahead and find my I guess we use NTH1. I was going to look for my MX. I thought I found my MX4 thermal compound. Rummaging through my bin of computer accessories and stuff here. I have plenty of fan screws. We can definitely replace the rusty one. Well, I guess we're going with Noctua NTH1. Excellent thermal paste. This was a gift from AV Shop for a consulting thing I did for them. So they gave me that. Well, anyways, those are some interesting computers we did together. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about them though. All right, CPU cooler's coming out. We're gonna go ahead and unload it the same way we loaded it. A bit of a cross pattern here. Don't wreck the CPU underneath. I think most of the load's off of it at this point. There are some relatively long thumb screws here. Contrary to what you might think, this kills the computer. I mean, I'm just ripping out its brain and skulls. Right now, I'm ripping out what would be effectively its sweat glands. So, I don't know if it kills it as much as it just hurts it really badly. All right. So there is a fan cable coming out of this, which is interesting. Does that go? Oh, this is the main controls for this cooler, which I probably should disconnect on the backside before we drop the entire cooler out of it. I do have the other side panel, it's just upstairs. Don't need it for the purposes of this. I always forget, for the R6 they switched to side panels that unclip sideways rather than ones that slide back. Made it a hell of a lot easier to actually open and close the side panels. Yeah, something definitely got spilled in here at some point. There's a lot of like oily residue in the top here. All right, where does all that wiring go? Disconnect that one. This one goes back out and towards the... Oh, maybe I didn't have to disconnect any of this. Oh, let's try not disconnecting it and see what happens. This might be might end up being a painful learning experience, but we'll find out the hard way. Okay, back horizontal we go. What am I sitting on? Oh, the power supply accessories bag. Surprising, when I package a computer out, the accessories boxes do go with it. So the power supply cable set there at one point. The box for the accessories should be in one of these other cages. Oh, yeah, it's in this one. If I can get it out. Oh, nope, the SSD mount is in the way, preventing it from flying out. Unmount this. Not unmount, but unplug this SSD. And this box should slide right out. That's all the accessories for this case. All the extra cables, extra zip ties, standoffs, hard drive mounting hardware, etc. Everything we're going to remove from this motherboard, I actually just remembered before we get too overzealous, is we're going to go ahead and remove a couple more screws. Actually, need to switch bits for this, so press, undo this, put this bit back in. We need a PH1 bit. Didn't butterfingers at that time. Undo this. These 3 screws here. One, 2. 3. And what this should reveal is... Wait, come on. It's going to be a little stuck because there's going to be a thermal pad stuck to the bottom of my separate rocket for NVMe SSD. Pull that out. Put that with the graphics card for now. I'm going to drop the NVMe screw back in before I lose it. The other one's in there too. There's another NVMe slot there as well. The thermal pad is just gonna, I think it's just gonna stay. Should be okay. Alright, put that back on there. I will put the 3 screws back in so I don't lose them or this heatsink. It's a really cool heatsink, to be honest with you. Oh dear. We'll put in the other 2 screws first, I think. I'm not entirely sure it matters. So it looks like it's going to be a pain either way. I remember getting this lined up, and then when I actually installed the Rocket 4, it was actually done while the computer was vertical in the desktop configuration. After I'm done this, I'll take the secondary camera there and I will clip it inside the case here. You guys have a better view of what's going on inside here. Okay, so take this camera. We'll clip it in here so you guys can see what's going on in here. And that might be too close, actually. Didn't really think this one through. I don't know if this is going to work for you guys. Looks like a little mini city in there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and unmount the CPU cooler here. Should already be loose, so I should just be able to give her a yank. And she should just come right out. Now, cables are nicely managed around a bunch of capacitors and other stuff. Oh, I may have to take out one of the DIMMs of memory because it's just that tight in here. There we go. Yeah, it was that tightly mounted that one of the sticks of memory had to be removed. That back down for a second while I slide this DIMM back into its slot. Actually, I'm just gonna leave this out for a second. While I undo the fan connectors. Oh, I am dragging thermal compound everywhere. Ugh. Okay, so that was my. Wish I brought a flashlight. Phone flashlight we'll have to do for a second. To read what I just unplugged there. So that was my CPU OPT fan, I think it was. Yes, CPU opt. So that would have been the pump. And then the top one would be my CPU fan. Okay, so CPU OPT has all 4 pins. CPU fan should have the 3-pin connector. Go ahead and take that. And can I lift this? Well, it's really dusty. Maybe I should have disconnected it on the backside. See the bottom of it there on the secondary. That is actually not the original thermal compound for this. Go ahead and clean that up before I make an absolute mess of the place here. Where did this go? Piece of this here. There. Oh. Take this. A little bit more that way. So you guys can see what I'm doing. Really, you're supposed to use a lint-free cloth for this. I have never had any problems doing it this way, though. So, I'll put that CPU cooler over there temporarily, and we're going to wipe off this CPU. This is my old i7 8700K. Great CPU, honestly. It was a great investment. I think I only paid about $380 for this, I think I want to say. It was not an expensive. I mean, it was expensive for its time. I mean, I was a university student, didn't have a whole lot of money, but it wasn't drastic. That's the standard. Like, it didn't hurt. Now, like 7 years later, it didn't hurt as much as it did at the time. So we're gonna go ahead and, I don't know how well you guys are gonna see this, but get off the cold plate. Remember, with copper cold plates, you really don't want to touch the bare copper because it will permanently stain the cold plate. Ooh, not want to do that. Go ahead and flip this over. Gross. And go ahead and do some more cleaning of it. Get it as clean as we possibly can. I believe this is actually NTH1 that I'm actually cleaning off of this. Alright. That's the vast majority of that. We will go ahead and stick this CPU cooler off to the side here for a sec. For the time being, while we do the next part, which is actually removing the old motherboard. Before we do that, we will take our stick of DDR4, came out of this one, and we'll put it back in. For anyone wondering what the wire going across this is Asus's T probe. You could put anywhere in your case to assist with additional temperatures for overclocking, or just an additional temperature probe in general. Why can't I put this back in? I never liked these easy dim slots. Like, not one bit. Okay, now the USB 3 connector can go. So you got over here we have our USB 3, and I think there's 4 serial ATAs in this one. So 1, 2, come on, 3, 4. Ow. 4 and 5. Yep, all the SATA's out now. Go ahead and disconnect the USB 2 header for the CPU cooler, USB 2 header for the case, and unfortunately, all of the front panel connectors will have to come out and be redone on the new motherboard. This is the part that's really hurts, because it's anyone who's ever built a computer will tell you, not a good time. Don't forget the HD audio connector for the front panel audio. Now we're about ready to get started on removing the motherboard. Yes, it was a struggle. If you're watching this on YouTube and it sounds like I'm talking to nobody, it's because there is also a Twitch chat that's watching this as well. Alright, so because this is an ATX standard motherboard, we have 9 screws to remove. And they should be 1, 2, 3, 4. This one doesn't have the middle one. 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's actually 8 to remove on this one. We will start with the one in the back left corner. The screwdriver is not great for this. This is really hard to get to. You guys can see what I'm doing. It is really dark inside this case. There's one motherboard screw. Two motherboard screws. Three motherboard screws. Four. Five. Six. There, it's gonna be right in front of the other camera right now. Is it out? Yep. Try not to drop it right on top of one of the capacitors, because that would be not a good time for me and the motherboard. And 8. So now, all that is holding this motherboard is that one centering peg installed by Fractal. Dreadcore! It has been ages. You are correct. How are you doing, bud? It's been ages. Well, I'm doing well. I think since the last time we played together, it's been a hot minute. Actually, I think it's been probably 2 maybe 3 years, man. I hope the stream delay isn't 6 months and 11 days. Let's say 6 months. It's like truncated on my screen for some reason. I'm watching this on my 55-inch 3D TV, which is, I'm in the 3D room right now. This is where this computer was built. If you're just showing us, this is where this computer was built originally. This is Cal920c-TBay, which originally had a i7-8700K. It had 16 gigs of DDR4 and now has 48 gigs. Fortunately, the new setup will only have 32. The only reason this had 48 gigs was for when I was using this in university for Revit. Yeah, man, it's been a hot minute though. It has been a hot minute. I feel like it's been a lot longer than 6 months too. Like I feel like it's been years. Anyways, come on, it should just pop. There it goes. And now there is absolutely nothing to grab it by. Oh no, I have made a mistake. Oh, I have one more fan connector I missed. 24 pin. All the other fan connectors should be loose. Just want to be really careful with this. This one still had, this was one of the last generations to have a separate IO shield. So this one has just, like it has this IO shield cover, but the IO shield itself is not captive to the motherboard. Gigabit Ethernet. This had onboard video. There's Supreme FX audio chip, and this one actually had 10 gig USB and onboard AX Wi-Fi, I want to say. So we're gonna go ahead and just drop this entire unit on top of the motherboard box over there. Did plan that one out good. Whew. That was close. Thought I didn't have anywhere to put that. Indeed, I'd unfollowed since I thought the channel had died. Oh, I see. Yeah, so the reason why I'm doing this upgrade actually is I couldn't stream anymore. The last stream I did was February 29th, 2024. It was like leap day. I only know that because when I was setting up for this stream, the old stream thing was still there. That brought back some memories. Like I built this computer to go to university to do the engineering degree that I did not get, unfortunately. And It was great. Like I had this thing for 7 years after I left university and pursued a career in construction, which I am still in, and I've gotten a couple promotions, so I'd say I'm doing pretty good. Um, I just, I streamed on and off here and there for years, right, until last year, and it was just not stable anymore. It wasn't stable enough to play any, even like Rainbow Six Siege, which at this point is, at that point, I think it was a 7 or 8 year old game. I think it's 9 years this year actually, and it just wasn't. Is that where we met? I think we met in. I feel like me and you met in StarCraft though. Was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Dracor. Or did we meet in another community? Uh, but we in SC2, yes. Okay, so yeah, I was still able to play SC2. So you may have seen me online. Me and Wadka, who's up above there. I think he's listening in. Yeah, playing co-op. Yes, yes. For those who don't know, I am a Nova main in StarCraft co-op mode. StarCraft 2 has an awesome, awesome co-op mode. Hello, Wadka. Welcome back. Has an awesome, awesome mode called co-op. All right. I think we are about ready for the new motherboard. What do y'all think? Is it time to introduce the new X870E? Yeah, I'm just reading through the manual here for the CPU cooler. I mean, yeah, I could change out that plate, but that'll take me about a second. So this uses the default AMD mounting hardware. That's been the same thing since AM3. So I have no doubt that this will be fine. I was debating buying a new cooler, to be honest, and I just couldn't justify it because CPU coolers are now like $300 something each. Yeah, they're like $300 each now for a CPU cooler. So like something like an H115i Pro, which is what this unit is, would be a $280, $300 option. I believe they still sell the H115i, except now it's called the what is it called now? I can't remember what it's called now. I think I only need 2 of these thumb screws actually. Where did I just slide that manual? Let's go ahead and relook at the AMD thing. Do you still play StarCraft 2 there, Dracor? I feel like I only need 2 of thumb screws because there's only 2 mounting nuts. Nope, still says 4 thumb screws. Where did the other 2 thumb screws go? I guess we will find out. Anyways, without further ado, look at the first really expensive piece of kit here. I'm going to go ahead and return this to Overwatch mode up here of seeing what we're up to overall. So I can use this as a platform for unboxing the Aorus X870E Elite Wi-Fi 7. This is just a piece of cardboard. I got really excited last time. This is actually the motherboard. Can I take this all out? Yes, yes I can. Ooh, don't drop in. What do we have for accessories underneath? A Gigabyte G connector. Speaker, power plus, power LED. This is a one-time use baggie, it's not a Ziploc. Get an Aorus badge, which I will definitely be adding to the Fractal Design Define R6 gunmetal case. I really, really, really wanted to reuse my case because I really do like this case. It is an absolute beauty of a case. This installation guide shows Intel CPUs. Keep in mind, if you guys want to rewind, oh, you don't play much anymore? That's okay. I will still be playing it until it's probably after it's not supported anymore. But yeah, what do you play now? As I do plan on grabbing some new games now that I have some capability to play again. Play Heroes of the Storms. Hero of the Storms. To play. If anyone's watching the stream who's been here for 3 years, actually, sorry, who's been here for 6 or 7 years, when this computer was still new, the first time I built it, Anno 2205. There exists, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, there exists a stream of me playing Anno 2205 for something like 9 or 12 hours. It was I got carried away. There's no Wadka actually is my roommate from university. We've been friends since college and we went to university together, but so he got up, which was my hint to that I need to go to bed. That was my hint that I need to go to bed. So I went to bed. There's a lot of these M.2 standoff kits. There's the I don't even know what you would call this. Like, what is this? Oh, this is the regulatory notice. That is, it's a double-sided 3-leaf regulatory notice. Okay, don't need that. This is the new Wi-Fi antenna that's going to replace the other one that I took off earlier. I may or may not install that because I will be using the onboard 2.5 gig Ethernet on this. Okay, we'll need the G connector. Excuse me. Sorry, I sneezed there. I'll need the G connector, so we'll leave that over there. And I will need the case badge, which we will leave right there. I plan to just reuse all the existing SATA cables, so I should not need those. Or there's a use for these, but we will figure that out later. I always liked how motherboard boxes work. Anyways, slide that over there. Well, we pull out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, the Strix Z370e Gaming motherboard was a very nice looking motherboard too, back in the day. So other than Heroes of the Storm, what else do you play? This is the longest piece of tape on the back of them. Usually they're super cheap with this tape. Not Gigabyte, apparently. Varioris line is their premium motherboards and gaming components. And yeah, this feels premium. Like this is a hefty motherboard for not having any RAM, CPU, or CPU cooler mounted to it. Oh jeez. Now the tape stuck to my finger. Okay. Reach in, find the back plate there, and the VRM cooler, which is how I always hold my motherboards. We will put that down. And there it is, the Aorus X870E Elite Wi-Fi 7. All right, we got internal HDMI. So this one has a captive I/O shield plate, which actually, the motherboard like this for a second. Can't hold it like that. I'll pop up the old the old I/O shield from the Strix. Oh yeah, padded I/O shields. Who remembers those? Instead of having those weird clip things. Okay, this is actually really heavy. Oh my god. Now I'll have two USB-C 10 gig ports there, and two USB 3.2 Type A ports. Still have HDMI on the back here. No more DVI though. But yeah, this board has an internal HDMI. I don't know if you guys can see that there next to the SATA ports. It has 4 SATA ports, which is enough for what I need it for here. I'll go ahead and start dropping this in here. I really wish I'd pulled this fan out because it's. I'll go ahead and tuck these cables back into the little holes that they poke out of. I'll pull them back out later. I just don't want them to get squashed underneath the board. All right, going in. Now it's resting on a weird angle here. This is a chonkin motherboard. It is so heavy. I cannot describe that enough for you guys. Just how heavy this motherboard is. Also, I really should tuck the top cables in. Should I pull this back out? Okay, there we go. Go ahead and rest that over there for now. These cables need to be tucked back too, because they're all in my way. Where can I tuck this? Okay. Motherboard area should be clear now. It's really good that this one has the peg in the middle, because this motherboard screw is not accessible easily. Not into the hardware stuff. Yes, it does look really good. I mean, you guys got a first-hand look at the before and after, but I will give you guys another view of the before here if I can pick this up. I mean, this is a heavy motherboard too, but that's because all the mounting hardware is still on it. But yeah, that's the before. That's the after. I mean, I'll still have to populate it with the RAM and everything, but yeah, I do plan on keeping this old motherboard in action. It will probably replace the. I'll probably replacing either the X58 Sabertooth, that's in my uncle's old computer, or it will replace the P55A UD4P. That's was the first computer I built. So either one, that's actually in. Those two are actually both in Fractal Design defined cases. My uncle's computer is in the R3, and the first computer I built was transferred. The Vortex build was transferred into an R4 that I got at NCIX years ago. NCIX for, I want to say it was like $65. It was on clearance because it had been damaged. I need to switch my screwdriver bit back. I do like this little pop out thing. It's nice. This magnet is really strong. Go ahead and pop that back in there. Try not to butterfingers the PH2 again, or Phillips number 2. Red Phillips for my American viewers. That is a really, really tight screw thing. Like, that is down there. I will need to get my power supply cables, which conveniently fell out earlier for those that are watching from the beginning of the stream. When I opened the back panel, they fell out because I do package. When I package up my computers, I do package them with all the accessories in the case if I can fit them. 3. Want to get to 8. If we have extra screws at the end of this, it's not going to be a good time. Actually, just noticed something here that I want to touch on. Although you guys probably aren't as big hardware guys as I am. This thing has a load socket. And for those who are old enough to remember, the Intel P67 chipset, they had some issues with those. Believe it or not, the 14 series CPUs were not the first time Intel had issues with their hardware. And under certain conditions, Foxconn sockets on the P67 chipset would actually melt. It was kind of like AMD's AM5 sockets. All right, Waka, say hi to Luna for me. Hopefully she's much better behaved. Hopefully I'll come visit you in a couple weeks. In the next couple weeks. Otherwise you can come visit me, but if you come visit me, I'm guessing Luna's not coming. Yeah. We will maybe see you when you get back. If I'm still, I probably will still be doing the build if you're going to watch when you get back. But yeah, enjoy the walk. So that's 8 screws back in to the motherboard. So how does this work? Let's see. If I pop this. Oh, there we go. So that came off. Wow, that's a. Oh, the thermal pads. Why is one different? There. Also, the 2 end ones have tabs on them, whereas the other one does not have a tab. Oh, the material's different too. These are all toolless M.2s as well, which will be really nice. Oh, the tabs are so that this slots in to the thing. That makes sense. So it doesn't just flop around on this side. Okay, let's start reconnecting stuff in here. I'm going to start with the serial ATA cables here. I should have made notes on which one. Luckily, I only have 4. Yeah, I was a lot better at building computers when I built this one than I am now. It does appear to be a perishable skill. Just say, please tell me these are actually SATA ports that I'm plugging into. This would be hilarious if 2 of them were not, and I'll just sitting here looking like a dummy. Okay. This. Tell me that's HD audio. Yep, it says audio on it, so we will take that out, and we will the front panel audio back into this. Here. Oh, it goes the other way. All right, no worries. We'll see you around Dragcore, and hopefully we'll get to play something soon. And even if not, thanks. Welcome back to the community. I'm just gonna remove this. I don't really understand how it's supposed to sit in here. Like, it has these two Owens, OENS, things. Guessing it's supposed to go into those. Yep, there we go. It kind of sits very low now, though. USB 3, which I should recable manage when I get a chance. That's PCI Express. We don't need that one yet. This does have front panel USB 3, just like my old motherboard did. So, yeah, right there. Which I will, once again, not be using. I'm going to go ahead and take a knee on this one. So I do want to see what's going on this motherboard here. Can also connect back. AIO fan pump. Then there's one for AIO fan. Sorry, not AIO fan, CPU fan. Because for those who don't know, if you don't plug back in your CPU fan, computer usually is not very happy about that. Oh, that really hurt. What is this thing? It says ASM. I don't know what I just pressed, but it's a good time. All right. Hopefully enough now. And plug in the 4+4. Why did I use the 4+4 on this one? Kind of a weird thing for me to have done. I also highly doubt that I will be taking advantage of even one full UPS power connector. Never mind two. If I can even get one in would be good here. I don't want to go in. There's half the connector after all that finagling with it. Where's the rest of that connector? Oh, that's one. Oh. Go ahead and check my EVGA power supply bag. For another EPS, 8-pin EPS connector in here. There it is right there. CPU. Perfect. Go ahead and use that. Bag back up. Oh my days. I'm starting to say that a lot since my sister started saying it to me. So put this in upside down so I can curl it to get to where I need to go. First thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go ahead and run this down to the power supply. I'm knocking over a bunch of other stuff while I do that. Well, maybe I won't do that, and I'll leave that too when I get down here. Parallel the other EPS connector for now. Let's go ahead and flip this back to where y'all can see what I'm doing. I am like too big of a human to sit here right now. Okay, I'm going to obstruct the camera for a second while I plug in the other EPS connector here. I highly doubt I even need 2 EPS connectors, but I have the option, and I have the capability. Why not just do it? I also don't know that this motherboard will actually power with just one EPS and which one it would require. Oh, let's say there's half the connector, but that wasn't. That would have been a lie. It went in, but then it immediately popped back out. There's half the connector. Some engineer from AORS was watching this video, they'd be like, dude, it's not that deep. What are you doing? How did I? Ever since the first computer I ever built, the EPS connectors have always haunted me. On the second computer I built, which was that computer I built for my uncle, I actually somehow managed to plug the 8-pin PCI Express into the motherboard instead of the actual 8-pin EPS. How did I? Okay, so I had half of it plugged in. Now I had to unplug that half so I could actually feel where the heck this one goes. All right, now I got that half of. Oh my days. Oh my days. Okay. Apparently has to go in together. Come on. Oh my god. Please. Click. Yes. Yes. Oh. Why was that so hard? Why was that so hard? It should not have been that hard. Pull through the USB cable there while I'm there for the CPU cooler. So apparently the AMD CPU coolers, they just mount right on top. Go ahead and bring this guy back down here for you guys. So what I was actually doing was, you can't even see it on the camera, but there's two 8-pin EPS connectors up there. So I had to run the second one, pulled the USB for the thing back through there. Let's see, where do I find a fan connector to plug in my rear fan? I have a feeling we're just going to end up plugging this into the CPU option fan, which is not the worst idea, but I feel like it's not the right one either. Does this one not have a chassis fan option? Where'd my phone go? Because they don't include a user's manual with the motherboards anymore. AORUS X870E Elite Wi-Fi 7 manual. Not get the ICE version for this build. I need downloads. Manual. 21 versions. Simplified Chinese, Korean, Japanese, English. Let's go with that one. There's also a multilingual version. What revision board is this? Rev 1.1. Layout. Okay, so I got fan headers there. So it looks like I have fan headers across the top here, which I see. I've already used 2 of them. There's the 2 12-volt 2x4s up there. CX. There's a DB port. Oh, display. ARGB V2, power and reset switches up there. Front HDMI, SATAs 1 through 4. F USB 3.0, 5 gig. Front panel connectors. There's 3 more fan connectors down here. There's no fan connectors in the middle of the board, apparently. There is a M.2 on slot under this, actually. Believe it or not. The BIOS chip is also under here. Another USB 3 is down there. the front USB, there's 2 of those again. So those should just be plug and play from my old computer. The front audio already plugged in. There's more LED connectors over there. And there's a TPM module, whatever ESPI-DB means. What's ESPI-DB? Has something to do with the I/O. I don't know. I don't know what SPI-DB means. Alright, I guess we are ready to mount the CPU and CPU cooler here. So we're going to get out the AMD mounting kit. There's also more fan screws in here. Okay, how does this go? Pull this back here. Go ahead and take off the old one. So apparently you just quarter or eighth turn this. You guys can see it on the second. Apparently this just goes click. Yep, there we go. That should just come off. Now this goes. Oh, which way does this go? If I know which way this goes. I really don't want to wreck a brand new motherboard and CPU. Okay, so it goes with that stuff facing towards the upside. So this needs to go like this. Again, trying not to touch the upper directly. Yep, there we go, there's the click. Go ahead and leave that, or just go ahead and leave that sticking through there for now. I'll put the Intel mounting plate in the bag. Put the, apparently I'm gonna need these nuts. AMD clip nut things. These AMD clip nuts, you can see those. And I put the manual down somewhere here. Prep the mounting bracket, install the AMD screws. Do not tighten the thumb screws down all the way. Mounting bracket. Integrated Intel mounting bracket, turning the mounting bracket away from the copper cold plate. Installed twist, lock brackets to secure. We've done that. We've installed the radiator. I did that years ago. Prep the mounting bracket by putting these things in with the thumb screws. Looks like we're going to use 2 this time. So these go through the bracket here, like that. And then they get secured on with thumb screw. that you are not to tighten all the way. Only, ooh, I touched the cold plate. Hopefully that won't affect it. I do have the alcohol dipped. Oh, it's all dry now. We'll grab some rubbing alcohol, because it's just a great thing to get rid of fingerprints, or oil in general. I'm going to go ahead and clean off this cold plate again from my fingerprints. I just generally don't want it to have issues in the future. And now that that's prepped, we will stick that back through over there. And we are ready for the most expensive part. My underwear's all stuck here. 1 second. It is getting pretty warm, like it is. That doesn't even want to load right now. 21 degrees outside. And it's been raining for a couple of days now, so she's toasty. And she's humid. Alright. Now for the exciting part. Part number 100-123450719WOF. AMD Ryzen 9 9950X3D, cooler not included, socket AM5 16 core 32 thread, 32 thread, 144 megabytes of cache, unlocked and made in Malaysia. This box includes an AMD Ryzen desktop processor featuring a Radeon graphics, installation instructions, and a 3-year limited warranty. Compatible thermal solution and DDR5 memory is required. Alright, I did not bring a knife, because I did not think this one through. See, my fingernails tough enough to get through this label. Not even close. Let's see if I have a knife here. Yes, I do. Beauty. Because I forgot. Ryzen 9 9950X 3D. Oh, comes a little tray thing. Nothing else in the box. There's a little Ryzen 9 sticker, which I presume will replace my... Oh, the door opens the other way. At some point, replace my thing. Certificate of authenticity. Record your serial number here. Because anybody is ever going to actually do that. Yeah, because this is my first time installing an AMD CPU. I am actually going to read the instructions. Actually, the instructions are... Oh, no, there's actual instructions. Lift the CPU bracket. Unlock the socket frame. Align indicators. Close the socket frame. Flip lever up to lock processor. Oh, it's just it's the same thing. It's an LGA socket. So it's literally just the same thing. Join the conversation, AMD. Welcome. Team Red. Yeah, so this is my first Team Red CPU that I've actually spent my own money on. Prior to this, I've always been a Team Blue and a Team Green. This is my first Team Red CPU. Okay, we are ready to install. There's a triangle, which we line up with the triangle in the socket, which is the top left corner there. I'm not sure that you guys can actually see that, but there is actually a triangle there. And so on the CPU, there is a triangle in the top left corner of it. And you can see it right there. And we're going to line those up. This is always the most like nerve-wracking part of this. Wow, this doesn't even like lift up for you. Here's my AM5 socket. Pop open the CPU here. This X3D thing is so cool. Like, there's the AM5 pads at the bottom. Like, I don't know if you guys can see the pattern on the heat spreader there, but that is just so cool to me. I just want us to sit here and just check this thing out for like way too long. But it's got to go in. That. Put way too much pressure on it. Lock it in. That is one installed 90950X3D. This I always put back in the motherboard box where I put that. And now comes the fun part of actually, we'll install the sticker another time. Right now I just want to get this thing. It's 10:21 p.m. right now. Local time to me, Eastern Standard Time, Toronto. So we're going to box that back in there. We're going to grab the NTH1 thermal compound. We are going to go ahead and install. Oh, can I even open this? Oh, pair of pliers at this point. I haven't used this in about 3 years, so. My shirt here. My Ready Player One Parzival shirt. Go ahead and put. Apparently, these need a little bit more than the usual amount. So. Probably because of the chiplet design. Should add. This is just what I've been told. We're just going to roll with it. I have no clue, to be honest with you. The temperatures aren't any good. We'll figure it out then. Yeah, we're use some NTH1 thermal compound because that's what I have on hand. I have Arctic Cooling MX4, which I kind of prefer. But yeah, admire it for a second because it will probably not see the light of day for years after this moment. I'll bring the CPU cooler back in here. Now with the AM something mounting mechanism mounted on it. We're going to go ahead. And they'll just click. The bottom one's already clipped on. You guys can't really see it. The top one seems to be struggling a bit to find its hook. I've used this mounting system for what, 10 seconds now, and I already like the Intel one better. Not even gonna. Oh, not even gonna pretend like I like this thing. Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend like I like this. The thermal compound spread pattern does look okay. This one grabs, that's fine. Why won't this top one grab? They're different sizes. That bracket looks like that, and that bracket looks exactly the same. And yes, I was careful not to touch the thing there. Got it. Got the top one to grab. Get the bottom one to grab now. Yes, I got it to grab. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. That was a lot more headache than the Intel solution. I don't like that. Tighten sub thumb screws until secure. Only takes 2 of the 4 thumb screws apparently. Go ahead and tighten these down a little bit at a time. They also kind of sit on an angle, which is kind of weird to me. That one's bottomed out. Barely tightened that one a lot more than I tightened the top one at first. Tight, and I think this one was tight already. Yep. I could also check the default factory ones, but they seem tight. Otherwise, they would just be flopping. See, tight enough for me. There we go. CPU cooler is now remounted. I have a chassis fan there, it looks like. Not really sure how to do this best. I feel like I should just run this wire up and use this one for that, because I don't know if it's going to reach. May need a extension cable if I want to use this one at the bottom. In any case. I wonder if I have a fan extension cable available to me right now. Oh yeah, let's connect the CPU data link connector. There is no space in there to manage that cable through there. So that's just gonna have to run straight up like that. Those two heat sinks, they're not touching, but they might as well be touching. Go ahead and manage these cables up through here. Or go ahead and put this back in the overview position there. All right, time to do some cable managing here. You guys are watching on this camera here. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Not gonna lie, it's a bit of a mess back here. Okay, so we have power cable. Ow. Ow. Sorry, guys. Once again, I am too large of a human for this, it seems. Which is very interesting, because I'm not actually that large of a human. Or two. Siblings I am, but... This is the USB cable for the cooler. Nose is itchy there. Oh, okay, where's the twist tie for this one? This is how I got rid of, instead of throwing the twist ties away last time, I use them as like cable ties, because they are actually almost as good as a zip tie. They're a little bit slower to actually use, but they are reusable, which I do appreciate. I did, for a while, make fairly often changes to this configuration. You kind of tell with how the SSDs are mounted back here. So these are this is a 2 terabyte WD Blue SATA SSD. This is an ADA SU630 SATA SSD. Oh no, I didn't check if this would clear. Oh no. Nothing's gonna fall out now, right? So in the bottom here, we have a EVGA 750 power supply. 750G3 is what it is. Once again, really wishing I brought a flashlight for this. VGA, 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 VGA. Guess I know where that needs to go. That's where to put this. Okay, to pull out the VGA here to be able to fish the other CPU in there. Oh wow, that is really tight in there. Come on, give me the connector. So there's the other end of the graphics card connector. Please tell me this reaches. Oh yeah, we're talking millimeters here. We're talking millimeters again. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect the stuff for this. These serial ATA drives. Have a little bit more room to maneuver in here. This is still gonna hurt a lot. Just like it did above. Wonder if it's worth pulling out the power supply for this. That would make things easier. This one is secured by, oh, it's secured by thumb screws. This one should just have the easy release, right? Yes, yes it does. Oh, you've hit the first case of thumb screws that were torqued for transport. So, reason why this computer is called is Cal920c-TBay is this computer went to Thunder Bay. And it went to and from Thunder Bay 4 times. So 2 times there and 2 times back. And because it needed to be transported, it actually had to get all of its fasteners in here have to be torqued. So all of these fasteners, though they're thumb screws, cannot be undone by thumb or fingers because they are actually torqued to about 60 inch-pounds or something like that. Whatever one of the top settings for my torque screwdriver over there is. Yeah, they were all, not all of them, but most of them were inspected before each shipment as well. Because I am looking for punishment. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, this is this makes this possible, actually I should say, to put this in. Because without doing this, this would basically have been just impossible for me to actually connect this extra power cable in here. Back in the VGA power cable here. Come on. I want to click. Take out this bottom fan shroud thingy because it is absolutely gross and just dropping disgusting amounts of dirt and dust everywhere. I'm gonna use this. What's left of this towel here? Use this to clean the bottom of the case. Because that is actually really gross. Okay. Now that I'm less grossed out, let's go ahead and finish up That's... Oh, that is going to be really tight. Yeah, there's no way I would have been able to do that. Bend the... should be okay. Should be. I mean, it's going to have to work like that, I guess. Can't get the screw back in now. It's under enough pressure for it to... We're not going to bring up the torque screwdriver, but we are going to keep the spirit of it by giving it that extra eighth of a turn. Now then, reinstall the power connector here. All right. Oh, there's a lot of cable going through. This for drive. Got drives. This for the CPU cooler. We will figure out cable management through here. And then here, so power back up the blue, SATA, and power. There's my two EPS lines run just down the side there. We're gonna fix this cable management disaster when I get a second here. Oh yeah, I was gonna run that other fan down to the bottom here. Where are these fans going? This is my USB 3 cable, I want to say. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's coming back up through the grommet because it doesn't go there anymore. And now it needs to go down through this grommet here, if I recall. Well, it could go underneath because it's actually below the SATA now. Then we need to figure out. By the way, there is a fan down here that needs to be kept clear of cables and stuff. Occasionally, a cable will heat up and droop into that fan, which has always been a bit of a disaster. Oh, there's two fans down here. I didn't know there was a second fan. Huh. This case has a lot of intake fans. There's two here, which these are the magnetic levitation fans that came with the H150i. This is actually the H115i's radiator there. And then the two intake fans that came with the case, the one there and one there, are in the bottom here now. In terms of intake airflow, this case is pretty much set. Also, all these thumb screws for the rail cage rails are also cage rails. No, this is just drive trays. This one doesn't have rails. They're all torqued too, so nothing's coming out. Along with the ones for the Millenniata M Disc Blu-ray LG Blu-ray drive in the front there. Okay. Flip this back vertical here for you guys. to run that fan at the back, this one needs to be hoping I can make that work. Wonder if I could just stick it down through. Sorry, you guys aren't gonna be able to see this for a second, but I wanted to see if I can make this run happen. This curl in this fan wire is an old trick I learned. Wrapping the fan cable tightly around a screwdriver. Oh yeah, that USB-C actually came out pretty much exactly where it should have gone. See it in the main camera right there. It actually comes out right where it needs to be in the world. If only it'll have enough slack to actually make the bend to connect in there. Would be great. I may have to move one of the drive trays sleds to make it work. I could also send it up through the bottom and connect it into that one. So many decisions on how to do cable management. It's actually a very difficult task. I don't think that's going to want to bend like that. Let's try putting it through the bottom. See how that goes for me. While I'm at it, I'm going to try running this fan there. I don't think I'm going to have enough length to do that, to make that a reality. Unfortunately. Have the slack to manage it underneath the thing later. Oh, it might actually make it too. It might actually work. Oh my goodness. Not gonna be. I mean, it's not actually that bad, considering I'll be able to tuck it underneath a bunch of stuff. I don't mind that. Now I'd select a fan header for it. I think this will be system fan. Let's go sysfan 1. That's actually really not bad. Like, I feel like I probably could have actually. I probably could have gone over. No, I wouldn't have gone up and over. Fortunately. Okay, no. Back here. I think this is honestly better than how it was done before. Oh, I should have ran on that side. Oh man. We gotta run that one more time. We run it on this side of the HD audio cable. down underneath the EPS power cables there. Oh yeah. Oh yes. No problem. And this will get plugged into chassis fan. Sorry, system fan 2. And that one is. Where's the last fan? Oh, I can use my Q connector, or sorry, G connector now. You guys want to see inside the case here? I do my I don't know how this thing's supposed to fold. Oh, because I have the. Alrighty, now you can watch me do front panel connectors. Exciting stuff. Alright. Got my phone as a little light source here from you guys. See kind of what I'm doing. I need the knife again. Oh, jeez. Getting old. Alright. How's this G connector work? So it's a little block there. It has speaker, power, LED, hard drive activity, reset, and power LED. CI. Okay, so what we got here? We got reset switch. This one does not have a speaker. I know that for a fact. Power switch. We have hard drive LED. Have power LED plus. Reset switch, and I believe this was probably power LED negative or power LED plus. Sorry, what? Oh, power LED minus and power LED plus. So I'm gonna guess this plugs in like that. Yep. Cool. So hard drive activity LED goes there. You guys can see me inserting into the side of that guy. And reset switch. This is power switch. Power switch goes on this side. And there. power LED. This around. So power LED here. Need the minus side. There. Not going to be visible for a second while I do this. These pins are so finicky. These tab things that you see on the top, they're actually like hooks. So they actually sit and they actually click in to them. Power LED minus does not seem like that. Power LED plus now. There's actually no pins inside of this, unlike a Q connector or an M connector. These are just it's strictly a holder for the individual pieces, so they're just pass through holes on the bottom. And then my reset switch right here. And the inside of this block is actually like separated by those little bits. I don't know what CI is. Push that HDD LED one back in. Now we're ready to go and take this whole thing and plug it in right there. All right. So now we have, you guys see there, we have the USB for the pump plugged in. You can't really see it right now, but there's the HD audio there. The USB for the pump. The fan that you guys saw at the back. The fan that's one of the fans at the bottom. I'll have to find out where the other one went. I'll connect that in a moment. And then my front panel connector. So you can see only half the block is actually used. The inside of this case also needs a major leak cleaning. We'll get to that though. All right. Turn the phone off. I'll put you guys back up here in the overview mode. All right. Let's find that other fan connector. So this is, I believe, the one that we already played with. Yes. That's the one at the front here. What would be really funny is if, for all these years, the other fan just never spun. Because it was just never powered. I don't believe that's the case, but I could be wrong. The power cable coming off this fan just goes into the cables. So I'm just gonna go goes fished up to the up here. Okay, well, come back down now. Oh, the camera can't quite. Let's see, I'm gonna treat and use the camera to see where I'm. I can't do that. Right, let's get this bundled back up over here. USB 3. And fish this down through under here now. Up. It actually adds so much more USB 3 to it. This is a really stiff cable. I don't really like that. Where is the USB 3? Alright, fish down spot here. I need to find the other USB. The other USB 2 front panel. There. .90% sure. Here, that one loops up right there. It is. Two. So before the USB 3. Go ahead, fish that USB through that same grommet. The bottom grommet is busy now. Is a busy one. USB 3 underneath the power for the SATA. Woo! Alright, now we found all the USB. Oh, take a break for a second. Oh. Okay, what do we got here? Got my other USB front panel. Right there. I'm going to show you just how tight these cables really are. Actually, kind of not. Through and then sent down. Okay, now this USB 3 can come up. Up. Healthy loop to get to USB 3 front connector header. Up the bottom of the case and the USB. It should work. That tight. Tight, not that tight. I think that's connected in there. Love it when it's just a drop-in replacement. The USB Type-C 20 gig there. I think this case has the capability. Could be wrong though. Then this cable back here for the fan, you guys, or the fan that's at the back here. It just washed it. It won't make the run. Oh, it actually just has underneath the M.2 here as well. Got this other M.2 as well. Do that. Could also install my first M.2 drive. So this board has 4 M.2 slots. Never have enough of those. Okay. The M.2 heel there. I'm gonna grab my Savert Rocket 4 NVMe SSD. The 2 terabyte PCI Express 4.0 SSD. Is the slot in this thing? These are supposedly toolless, so they should just that, and then if I want to release it, this. Oh, it's like stuck to the thing now. That is actually very sticky. Okay, well, I guess that's gonna be in there for good. This is a same as the other one. It just kind of melts. Oh, it's a heatsink for that M.2. Blue type tape. Oh yeah, the tab's right there for it. Slides into this metal part at the top. Ooh. Let me. stay. I don't think it's that. Let's try it without. Oh, it has nothing to do. Exactly. Takes a lot of force to press into its slot. Oh, that's really stuck on there too. Whoa. Wow, it actually like spreaded the pad out already just from me doing that. I can put the wire in there. I just got to put a lot more force than I am comfortable with. Oops, sorry. Not intending to. Oh, it doesn't want to stay. There we go. Wires now stay there. Change this up again. I'm gonna put this on this side of the HD audio cable again. Go straight down through there. And no one's even gonna know that wire is in there. Or I put the graphics card back in. Sorry, I have other NVMEs. They're not. This is back on. That. Okay. That's there. All the front panel is now connected. We now need memory. Bring out the Trident Z Neo. Trident Z5 Royal Neo, actually. I don't want to open this. This package is so like. They're gonna make me like rip this open because it's actually like heat shrunk on here. This one I can. There we go. That opened. Oop, don't throw the plastic on top of a motherboard. That would be really bad. Probably the end of it. There's something written underneath here. Oh, it just says G skill. A very smell to it, actually. There's something I thought I'd say about memory. This is the F5 6000J28 36G16GX2-TR5NS kit. The DDR5 6000 16GB times 2, so 32 gig kit. And the timings are CL 28, 36, 36, 96 at 1.4 volts. That's how. Coming from being an Intel guy all these years and running 1.35 volts like constantly, 1.4 volts feels high. Like that feels high. How does this open? Oh, yes. Comes with a microfiber cloth. Oh. It comes with a blacked out G-Skill logo sticker. Cool. Do not mix memory kits. Memory kits are sold in match kits. They're designed to run together as a set. Mixing memory kits will result in stability issues or system failure. Memory kits will boot at the speed default BIOS settings with compatible hardware. Or kits with XMP or Expo enable that in the BIOS. Depending on battery, motherboard, and CPU use. Result in lower speeds for the components. Components may have sharp edges. Caution is required. Protective wear is recommended when handling computer equipment. Or sorry, computer components. For extended product information or manufacturer recommendations, please visit the website. About tech support, it's like, ooh, the microfiber cloth on it, and for good reason because that is gonna need some polishing. I don't want to open this. Apparently, they expect you to polish your own RAM before you use it. There's definitely the smudge of someone or something on there. Ooh. It just feels like such a premium experience for memory. Oh yes, like the camera isn't really doing justice on the gleam. But yeah, they do expect you to clean your own. Like big watermarks on it. Even the stickers are shiny. What in the world? What did I buy? Wow. Oh, it's just so much I kind of accidentally scratched. Is this computer componentry or just jewelry at this point? Ah, it is. Oh, this is the side that you need not polish. Wow. Oop, it just crinkled in my hand there. Oh, the cameras that I'm using to do this. Okay, where's my dim spot? A1 and B1 are actually the closer two slots. These memory slots actually feel kind of cheap. Oh. Okay, so this one has, we'll cover up the serial number there. Has a bit of a scratch to it. This side looks good though. Oh, ho. Okay, we'll put that in the middle so no one. Who's gonna know? What would they know? Unless they watch the stream, in which case they wouldn't. Mmm. Oh. Can't wait for that to turn on so I can see the RGBness of it. Trident Z Royal. Like it just says that on the. Just wow. It's not like I actually paid that much for this kit. This was a 270 odd dollar kit. Sorry, 217 odd dollar kit I bought on Newegg. I don't want to put this back in the bag just because it was like the presentation was just all that. I'm gonna waste time on stream putting the included microfiber cloth back in the bag. Amen. It will not be perfect because it won't manufactured product that I'm trying to put back in the manufactured package. Yeah, like sticking to. Like, and the one corner's not going to cooperate. Not going to cooperate. Come on. Oh, now I've crinkled the bag. It's over. It's over. Supposed to say Red Rover, but that's not the other. Oh no. The flap went on the inside. Derail Neo. Again, we will deal with the stickers another day. I just don't have time for that right now. Still. Derail Neo. Pretty sure I was gone this way before. Much easier to put back on than it was to take out. You ready for the graphics card now? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what this switch was. This is so you can release the graphics card because of this weird shield mechanism thing. So I pop this up. I should be able to. Yep, there it goes. I'll bring this one. What's going on here? So if I take the PCI Express thing up here. Oh, that's really up like that. If I press this button here, it pulls it down. So it releases the PCI Express. That's what they thought of that. Okay. Well, anyways, with that, one RTX 2060. Time for you to go back in. I really feel like I should. I'll be back. Watch Wadka come back again and be like, oh, I just came back from the walk with my dog, and he's gone again. Of course he is. Alright. Slow. That's good. Alright. What? RTX 2060. This time into a new motherboard. There are plans to upgrade this. Likely to, I'm thinking right now, a RTX 5070 Ti. Quick. Where to put the thumb screws for this guy? Oh, they're up here. If I ever want to move the M.2s or add more M.2s in here, I guess I'll have to suffer with removing my graphics card again. Well, now I know how to do it, which is good. The other two PCI Express slots down here don't have that same option. It looks like they're just, you'd have to reach down and press them, or stick a popsicle stick in there, press them. And the 8-pin connector, I ain't bougie enough yet to have the 12-pin high power. That's that. I think that's pretty good for tonight. I want to see how this turns on. Which means I'm going to have to disconnect HDMI from my stream. The Ugreen Uno dock that's powering this stream right now is really holding on to that HDMI. See if I get a video output here. Or if I'm really lucky, it'll just boot to Windows. Bad chance of that though. I'm gonna go grab a mouse and keyboard just in case it does. Alright, fun story. This is actually the original keyboard and mouse for this computer in Thunder Bay. Actually, this is slightly older. This is actually from when I moved to Thunder Bay for university. And then, but it was used with this computer for all these years. So, power supply going on. Oh, we got a red LED in there. See what's going on? Where should I? All right, like that. Oh, thing's turning on. Still missing the one fan I want to put right over. Ooh, hi. That is a very nice effect on there. I have an EC, which is, I don't actually know what EC stands for. I just wanted to see this thing power, which it's powered. The fans are running at absolutely full blast right now. I can feel every one of them. Sounds very good, to be honest. There is water pumping through the reservoir, or through the water cooling loop. Oh, this is actually making contact with my very expensive CPU. I also feel like I should turn it off. It won't turn off either. Huh. Maybe I should plug it into the onboard. I have a video signal. I do not have a video signal. In any case, done what I came to do tonight. I don't know what EC is. Codes. Oh Jesus, there are a lot of codes. A, B, C, E, E0, S3 state resume. EC though, there's not an EC on here. Oh no, there it is. EA, EB, EC. EC is a reserved code. That's not helpful. I may have to update the motherboard. Well, I will do that. I'll figure out how to do that off stream. I can't even get this thing to turn off now. Holy. There we go. That's a really nice memory effect though. See if it's compatible with IQ. It did not boot, so I have a feeling it's a BIOS compatibility issue with the 9950X3D that's in here. There's the June 25th update, BIOS update. Does say that it updates support for the Ryzen 9000 series CPUs. But anyways, I got a bunch of cleanup to do, as you guys can see. So we're gonna end it there. But thanks for hanging out, Dragcore and Vodka, for coming by. And, see you guys back on stream if I can get this thing to turn on properly. See y'all next time.